Can I ask you something, Miss Evelyn? Do you know what her pain is? Because the only reason a person would behave in this manner.
We're not gonna throw this behavior word around again. We're not gonna do that. She does not have a behavior problem, and that's not fair.
First of all, your finger in my face is not gonna work for me.
But the name calling is not gonna work for me. Because I don't appreciate you keep throwing out these names. What about my disrespect? All I have been is disrespectful. I've been called. Wait a minute!
What if I told you that Tamar isn't the real problem? What if the true villain of the Braxton family has been Miss Evelyn all along? Things are getting messy in the Braxton family, and once again, Tamar is in the middle of it all. Whenever Tamar trends on social media, people criticize her, calling her chaotic and attention-seeking. She has a very public reputation for holding grudges. But Tamar isn't letting anyone blame her anymore. She says she's the way she is because of her mother. For a while now, Tamar has been talking about her mental health and her healing journey. She's hinted that her mother's resentment, especially toward their dad, has affected her deeply. That resentment is part of the reason she still struggles today.
Letting your mother run your life.
How dare he try to tell me how to raise my kids after he have abandoned us? He has some nerve.
Y'all have lives to live yourself, and she can't run her life, her home, and your home too.
You know what? Had you been home long enough to help me to raise them, it wouldn't be such a problem. But where were you? Out there hanging in the street,
what did you do
doing whatever
all day?
you were
What
big
did you
enough
do
to do.
all day long?
What did you do?
What did
And
you
what
do?
did you
Let's be real. Tamara has given us everything, from relationship drama with Vince and Junior, to beefing with her sisters, to burning every bridge imaginable. She took it a step further this year by throwing Funky Deneva under the bus, implying that he may have been attacked after a night out, or, even worse, allegedly sleeping with some of Tony's men.
I don't steal anything.
You don't? You stole men.
Who's the man that I stole?
Tony's. You slept with them a few times.
Who? What man?
You do not get the link.
Bitch. Dirty low-down ass bitch.
Oh, you're such a liar. Such a liar.
It was all fun when she was acting this way a few years ago. It was even good enough to make her the fan favorite during the earlier seasons of Braxton Family Values. But every year, Tamar does something that leaves everyone stunned. And people are getting tired of her toxic behavior. She constantly says she's on a healing journey, but most people think she's only gotten worse. Some are even saying Tamar truly needs help. She's exhausting and needs to be loved from afar. Tamar never thinks she's wrong. She always feels attacked and doesn't see how nasty she can be. Tamar's almost 50 and falls out with everybody. She's never going to change. Tamar being dramatic isn't exactly breaking news, but people have been saying it's better for her to back out now or lose whatever good perception the public still has of her. But like always, Tamar isn't letting any talk about her go unanswered. In pure Tamar fashion, she's out here blaming everyone but herself, particularly her mom, Miss Evelyn. The sisters all have some type of bitterness and resentment they've been holding on to for a while, and the only person who has ever come out to talk about it is Tamar. This is the first time she's openly connected her behavior to her upbringing. All her life, she's seen her mother struggle to let go and hold on to grudges, especially when it came to how Evelyn's marriage ended with her ex-husband, Michael Braxton.
Evelyn could say some things out her mouth that are really cutting.
But your daughters are being held emotionally hostage to your ex-wife's bitterness towards you. You and her need to get on the same side of the table and free those girls. Because the elephant in the room that nobody will talk about is Evelyn Braxton's attitude.
It's been over 2 decades since Evelyn and Michael got divorced after she found him cheating, but the amount of bitterness and resentment Evelyn still has toward Michael is insane. It has reportedly set the tone for how Tamar and the rest of her sisters deal with hurt and resentment in their relationships, and even their interactions with each other. They didn't just witness anger, they absorbed it.
I don't even think they look at me as a sister. They don't like me. We were very close as kids, very close as young adults, and now where we are in our lives, that relationship no longer serves us. And I would hate to keep arguing with them and keep building negative memories instead of building and relying and thinking of the good memories that we had.
Even Tony, who is the oldest and comes off as the classiest of all the sisters, is just as messy. She's just more reserved with her messiness. There's no doubt that Evelyn is toxic and controlling. In fact, when she and Michael were going through their divorce, she made the kids pick a side. Anyone who wanted to stand with their father got the worst of her. This is why Evelyn and Tracy didn't see eye to eye. Tracy still wanted to maintain a relationship with their father, especially because she lived closest to him in Maryland. Evelyn wasn't happy about that at all. She allegedly held onto that grudge right up until Tracy passed away. But Tamar is the youngest, and when this whole thing was going on, she sided with her mother and allegedly never did anything without running it past her first. That became a big problem and fueled the codependency.
Because everything she said she thought was right.
Pitiful lie, too.
And as long as you agree with her, she's fine. And it's the same thing with y'all. If y'all don't agree with her, she is pissed. And it's time for y'all to stop letting your mother run your life.
The way Tamar tells it, it isn't only the bitterness and resentment that her mom passed on to them. She also enjoyed the sound of her own voice and always believed she was right about everything. If Tamar had an opinion that didn't sit right with her, Evelyn was quick to shut it down and expected Tamar and her sisters to do as she said. It's hard for any of the sisters, particularly Tamar, to go against their mother because of the guilt that comes with the constant reminder about how Evelyn raised all 6 of them as a single mom by herself after their father, Michael Sr., left home. That's the kind of environment Tamar grew up in. Even after 20 years, nothing has really changed. Evelyn still holds so much hatred, and it usually spills out onto her daughters.
Let me know if you're picking up what I'm putting down. So looking at Tina Knowles and her children, and looking at Evelyn Braxton and her girls, it's proof to me that forgiveness or unforgiveness and bitterness can trickle down to your kids. I feel like Tina Knowles is the reason why Solange and Beyonce are able to persevere and press through adversity with grace and poise. I know this is a weird way to put it, but Beyonce and Solange was able to see their parents go through a healthy divorce. Even Miss Tina acknowledged that they did not go back and forth. And honestly, she had every reason to be bitter and not forgive him for having an outside baby on her. And then on the other hand, we can look at Miss Evelyn Braxton and see why her daughters are still on each other's neck in their 40s and 50s.
People are agreeing with Tamar because it's easy to see how Evelyn Braxton set the tone for disrespect and how her behavior may have affected Tamar over the years. I think I want to make a list of villains people don't think are villains and start with that good old Evelyn Braxton. Evelyn represents so many of our toxic mothers who have raised us to become mentally scarred women pretending to have it all together. The Braxton family has always been toxic, and Evelyn is the main problem. She held it over her kids' heads and forced them to stick together despite any issues. Those girls don't like each other, and Tamar is always the scapegoat because of her mouth and personality. But what do you all think about this? Sound off in the comments and make sure you hit that like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!